time for the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico.
For 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck.
Well, say goodnight to the Olympics. The bizarre, crowdless COVID Olympics. I got thoughts on that. Were they a success to you? I think so. I do think so, and we'll go through that. Hall of Fame classes, too. I mean, if you sat through all of those speeches, I don't know whether or not to congratulate you or feel bad for you, but there were some really big moments in Canton, Ohio over the weekend. Bobby Bowden passes a Florida State and college football legend. A 71-11 Gladiators victory. The Dukes played this weekend. So did the Isotopes. What? And fun out at the golf course over the weekend at Nota's tournament and some really, really impressive scores. And if you watch the PGA, you watch two guys who were battling on the backside at like 20 and 19 under, like huge numbers, and fall apart. Opening drive, Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck. Good to see you. How you feeling?
Good to be back. Good morning, everyone. What'd it do?
Got a lot to do this morning, and we want to hear from you at 505-246-0610. That's how to get to us today. That's both the NMDOT text line as well as your Quan's Auto Care hotline. As we inch closer and closer to college football season and the National Football League, you'll get a full slate of NFL preseason games to watch this week. 2 weeks away now, inside of 2 weeks from your first college football, which is crazy. 2 more Saturdays without college football, and then you're home. Look at you with your new fresh magazines.
Had to pick them up. Got the college football previews in. Ready to get going.
Yeah, Bob's working on maybe on the Houston Baptist Scout.
Oh, he's been working.
Yeah,
it's going to be the best scout we've ever.
Well, all right. And I saw Michael Ann over the weekend at the baseball game. I think it was at the Dukes game the other night. No, it was the Isotopes game. By the way, can I tell you I love Dukes games? Whatever it is about those yellow Dukes uniforms.
Coming out swinging.
And then they play the song at the end. Yeah, at the beginning, it was awesome. And Kindness Night on Friday, just good feel at the ballpark this weekend. But anyway, yeah, we're working on the scout for you. All right, let's start. I want to start with Olympics as we put that to bed. And your thoughts on it as it goes to sleep, and the United States wins not only the gold medal tally, they win the overall medal tally, 113 medals to China's 88. And you got women's basketball winning gold, men's basketball winning gold. That was Friday night. So now that it's said and done, and let's go to men's basketball because that's going to be the lasting in some respects. Do you still feel that somewhat it's tainted? They won gold. Like to me, I don't remember a game. I remember it, but my first thought about this team isn't going to go back to some game that meant nothing that they lost in Vegas.
It will to me.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take away from the gold, but it's just the expectations that Team USA basketball has set on both sides, men and women on the court in those contests. Like we remember the Dream Team, there's a Redeem Team because that had bounced back from a bronze medal and all of a sudden questioning whether Team USA basketball is going to be good
and what is this,
or not.
Draymond Green
and
team?
This is just another gold medal team. And it's crazy when we say that. It reminded me a ton of that text we got a couple weeks ago when one of friends of the show, maybe it was Ralph, I'm not 100% sure, but he's like, talking whether it was Phoenix or Milwaukee, he was like, this is going to be one of the worst NBA champions. And you're like, well, you're still a champion, so does it really matter? And that's kind of the way I felt about this gold medal team. We're going to talk about the exhibition losses, which actually have nothing to do with the fact that they went into that tournament, lost to France, but then won everything else and beat France again in the gold medal game. And I guess the one takeaway we're going to remember is Kevin Durant becoming the all-time Olympic leading scorer
for the United States. Maybe that can be an endearing part because I guess to your point, part of their story will be, that's the team that lost 2 exhibition games, lost their opener, and then fought through it and got better and came together and defeated the team in the gold medal game who beat them in the opener. And so from the Dream Team to the Redeem Team to the Draymond Green team. By the way, his numbers aren't good, but he was so good. He was so key down the stretch with tip balls, keeping plays alive, defensive plays. Like Draymond Green on that team was sensational, I thought.
And I will also remember for 3 dudes who just played in the NBA Finals,
Yeah.
hopping on a plane,
Drew Holiday was unreal.
flying to Japan,
Yeah.
and becoming starters and some of the most influential players on that team.
Yeah, I look at it. Can it be a plus? Can it be a team that, wow, this was the gold medal team that started out looking worse than any other United States Team USA team, right? It's any other national team we've ever had in some respects, certainly since we've been sending the pros. And they lost 2 games to whoever they lost to who did they lose to? Australia and somebody else?
Nigeria and Australia.
Nigeria. In Vegas. And the world was ready to tilt off its axis. And then they go over there and they lose their opener to France. And then they turned it around, and Greg Popovich did a great. I mean, however your narrative will be, well, he was crappy because they lost a couple games, or he was able to pull this team together, and Kevin Durant was able to lead, and they were able to mold and become a gold medal team, unlike any other USA gold medal team. And maybe that's their legacy, the late blooming gold medal team. Bottom line is, it's a gold medal.
It's just the expectations are
never lose a game.
Are so high that we are going to talk about. It is crazy when you look at that streak of in exhibition matches. Team USA since '92 had only lost 2 games, and they lose 2 games in a week.
Yeah.
Did it matter for the Olympics at all? No, but it's just like what they set, and really for me too. It's this is what about the Olympics, because like it's all or nothing. It's like once we won. Yes, I'm saying once we won that final medal count, got the most golds. Everyone was like, darn right.
Damn right.
That's right. That's what's up.
Yeah.
So it's like all or nothing with the Olympics. But I think not just Team USA basketball, but when you see the Olympians overall, it matters. And I know that was a big question for a lot of people, because the last 2 years
no doubt.
in this country has been insane.
Yeah.
And so there was still a big question of, all right, you're representing that flag. You have those colors on. What does it mean? And it mattered to every single one of those.
Whether it was a wrestler or a beach volleyball player, a swimmer or a track and field star, all those medals did. And that's what it was about. And there's some of the emotion of watching them speak with their family via video chat. And the emotion that was there because none of their families could be there. That was what made this so different. The fact that all these athletes fought through all the uncertainty, the extra year that they went to compete in the 2020 Olympics. How come nobody yelled at the 2020 Olympics were calling themselves 2020 and they're in 2021? But yet when we took the New Mexico Bowl to Texas, we got destroyed on social media.
Yeah.
I'm just asking. They're still the 2020. Oh,
Fair
how can
question.
they do that in 2021? How can they do that? And then the Rose Bowl went and everything was cool.
Yeah.
But I what the athletes went through to endure, to continue to persevere. Yeah, I thought it was special. I kind of faded on it. I'm not going to lie. I faded on the Olympics on the back end.
It's hard when it's tape delayed, too. Like,
Well-
when you see some of the results of the big track and field events.
The stuff that was going overnight. But, the men's basketball was live.
That was actually pretty cool Friday night.
Yeah. I mean, that was live.
It was.
Some of the golf you could watch live. I'm going to say thumbs up on the Olympics. I think when all is said and done, now maybe if I was in Japan, I'd feel differently. And as Japanese citizens are so unhappy, it feels like in a majority. But they got it done. They lost money on it, obviously, because of the lack of travel. But it kind of comes down to what we're talking about, last year, in the last 18 months, to get it done, to be able to stage, to be able to compete. Remember when high school athletes started, and we were just like, gosh, they just get to play. I kind of somewhat feel the same way on the world stage. And so congratulations to Tokyo. Congratulations to the Olympic Committee for getting it done. Was it imperfect? Highly imperfect. Was it weird? Yeah. But they got it done in a way where I guess they could have shut it down, and a lot of people would have felt that was the right way to go. Now you put the thing to bed. I know you're never ever supposed to say congratulations on sports talk radio, right? You got to criticize everything. That's this sucked and that sucked and I'd have done it differently, because every guy who's in front of a microphone is better than everybody else. I'm going to give props. Were there things they could have done differently? Yeah, I think so. But overall, congratulations.
Yeah, I think this is, anytime it comes to Olympics, it's a positive for the athlete. Now, everything outside of that, as you mentioned, the country, the things they're dealing with, how things would be used after the fact can become a huge mess. But for all those athletes that showed up, competed for their countries, it mattered. You saw what it meant. And again, just for Team USA and the amount of players, athletes across the board, when they won their medals, when they're shedding those tears, when they're talking to their family, I think that was the biggest thing. Because I do think there was a question of, are we going to see protests? How many people can use this platform? But what we saw was just athletes competing for their country and loving for their sport.
And loving it. Yeah, and loving their country, loving America, loving their sport, loving the moment. And in most respects, it was what it's supposed to be. 505-246-0610. Love your thoughts on the Olympics now that we're putting it in bed. Success, non-success, memories. What are you going to remember? Simone Biles? USA basketball? Wrestling? What are you going to remember from it? You can get in on the NMDOT text line or the Quan's Auto Care hotline. Brady Hoke, San Diego State's coach, going to be with us at 8:30 this morning. Conversation I had with him at the Mountain West Conference Media Day. So we'll do that at 8:30 today. We got NFL to get through. We got all kinds of the baseball for the weekend. Golf was really, really interesting. Want to remember Bobby Bowden as well. If you spent a little too much on vacation, maybe you're realizing school supplies are adding up a little faster than ever. Might be time to add a little extra to your budget. Now, I know what you're thinking, that maybe that sounds a lot easier than it is done. But the reality is you could have access to an extra $1,000 a month if you're a homeowner. Really. You can have access to an extra $1,000 a month if you're a homeowner, but you have to call American Financing to know for sure. Get that free mortgage review I've been telling you about and see if you qualify for these incredibly low rates. Imagine the difference that'll make. Then pick up the phone. Get the free mortgage review. Find out what you can save. No pressure, no upfront or hidden fees. You might even postpone 2 mortgage payments, but you've got to call American Financing, and you probably should do it soon. 423-551-6525. That's 423-551-6525. Or visit AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom has portable AC units for rent. Applications include server rooms, retail outlets, healthcare facilities, laboratories, convenience stores and truck stops, events, concerts, and weddings. All of these units are 120-volt plug and play. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk Live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
Center fielder, Caden Bell on first. Here's the pitch to Heath. Struck him out. And great pitching by Alvarado. That'll do it for the Tigers in the top of the 5th.
A great crowd for a mid-afternoon game. Swing and a miss, and there's a strikeout, number 5 for Matt Romero.
Smith talking to the batter here. That's a, oh, wow. Nice, and that's an out.
What did I tell you? That one's that gets over the head of the right fielder. That's going to bring in 2 runs. As Adrian Martinez with the RBI double.
Towards the latter part. Pitch, and that's another way for a single. That's going to score 2. That makes the score 9-0. So RBI double. That's going to make it. That's it. It's 10 runs there.
1-0's the count. And this one's high. It's going deep. And it's going to fall in. He's digging for third, and he gets there. Ezra Mestas with the 3-bagger. He gets the triple, and 2 more runs scored.
Steal to third base.
Saquon Barkley may practice this week. It's big for the Giants. Josh Allen got paid 6 years, $258 million. Next up, Baker Mayfield, probably. NFL going crazy. I don't know if it's feeling normally at all. I don't know what normal feels like anymore. I really don't. I don't even know what normal is, but it feels like you're going to get a football season as well. 505-246-0610. Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck. Aaron's producing for ProView Networks today. Bobcat today on the radio side. It's been a minute since I've seen Aaron there. No?
It's been a minute for a lot of things.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. It's good to see you.
Good to see everyone this week.
Yeah, you and I haven't been together for a week, right? More than that. I guess it's been a week and a half, right? Because you were gone that Thursday, Friday. I was out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You were out Thursday, Friday. Yeah.
Great to be back.
Yeah, it's been a minute. All right, Jerome, been a while since I've heard from you as well. Hello, Jerome.
Gentlemen, how are you guys doing?
Good. How you doing?
Hey, man, life is good. Things are getting done, and, it's been a good summer. But I wanted to just comment on the Olympics. You know what? That was like the highlight. I was working with some youth all morning, and then I was doing yard stuff, and then I would, get home, and it was fun turning on the TV, and I was recording most of the stuff, of course, but, it made my night. And then I was just thinking about, it's over with. Dang it, what else can I watch at nighttime on TV other than reality shows or stupid things like that? But I really enjoyed the Olympics. It was fun, and my favorite stuff is just track and field. It's just fun to watch, and I was proud of all the athletes out there that, gave it their all and did fantastic things, and I was so happy that we beat China and went in that gold medal count. That was icing on top of the cake. So anyway, I really enjoyed the Olympics, and thanks for talking about it. And Team USA basketball, you got to say about all those NBA players. I mean, all those other teams have a tons of NBA players also. So it's kind of a wash sometimes, but I do expect us to win every single time. Though.
I'm going to tell you, next time around, fun. 3 years from now, it's not going to be any easier. I'll tell you that. The world's getting better now. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe some of the guys who were injured or didn't play. I mean, did we send all of our best? We didn't send all of our best. But if Giannis competes next time around and Luka's there, and he almost you look around the international. If you did an all-star game of America versus the world, you'd have a hell of a game.
Yep, you certainly would, and I'm glad that Kevin Durant showed what he was made of. So that was really good to see that he just stepped up and. He represented and did what probably the best player in the NBA should do is take over and win that thing for the United States. So it was fun. But I miss you guys, but, I listen to you guys all the time. Now that Aggie football and Aggie basketball season, you'll be hearing a lot more from me. But, I'm always listening. You guys always do a fantastic job. You make my mornings easy. So have a good day, guys.
Right on. See you. Jerome called the 246-0610. He mentioned Durant. What, if anything, does that do for Durant's legacy?
I think for Kevin Durant, showing up, especially after a full season, the way it ended for him in the Brooklyn Nets, still staying committed with the Achilles behind him, I think it was a positive step for him because he still has a lot of off-the-court branding to deal with because he's a guy that continues to snap back on social media. He's living with all those questions about him, the soft mentality off the court, but can he do it on the basketball court? And he stepped up for Team USA, took the journey, stayed locked in, and was the best player on the court. And he's the conversation pretty much is Kevin Durant, and are you feeling, well, when Kawhi's on, Giannis, LeBron, those are the best players in the world when it comes to basketball.
Yeah, so I've always thought that soft moniker is crap for him. I know there's people who are bitter that he went and played with the team that beat him. Okay, and those people are never going to get over that, and that's fine. And I'm doing my best to accept that's the way it is now, right? He didn't go over there and ride coattails to a championship. He went over there and led that team, made them better, and became the Finals MVP. I've never thought Kevin Durant is soft. I just don't. Show me what in his game is soft. If you want to go, well, he had the burner Twitter account, okay. And I'm sure he's the only one, by the way, who's got a burner Twitter account. He got popped, but I just never understood the soft moniker, and people don't like him. But this feels like a lot of people turned on Durant. I heard a couple national guys over the weekend saying, I never liked Kevin Durant, and now I'm all about Kevin Durant, and he's Captain America, and he led Team USA, and the whole mantra on him change. I don't know if an Olympics can change a whole mantra. I don't know that our country cares enough about the Olympics outside of those 2 weeks or maybe those 2 months. I don't know if he does, because if that's the fact, Carmelo would be considered one of our best ever, and he's not. But I think for some reason, because this team was not necessarily a super team. I mean, it wasn't. Addie asked me, so who are the best players? I'm like, well, Devin Booker and Chris Middleton, and after Durant, and you go down, you're like, I mean, they're good. Zach LaVine's good, but it's not the guys any of us think are top shelf players. And so for him to lead that group through a tournament, through adversity, I kind of do feel like this helped change his legacy and certainly the mantra on him.
I think because a lot of the stuff has been off court, and to your point, there's people are going to say what they want about those Warriors titles, but he won them. He's got them in his back pocket. It's all the off the court stuff that kind of rolled into that persona, which kind of just piles on that for some people. And this was a moment where, especially just coming off the Achilles injury, everything that he had to do in that Nets series when Kyrie Irving went down, James Harden barely played with his hamstring issues, and to still jump on that plane, stay committed, that is a big statement. And I think really everyone on this specific team, with what the year has looked like calendar-wise, staying committed, going over there, I think that does say a lot, not just about them personally, but what that still can mean for these guys. Because you look back, Trae Young was someone that was antsy to get over there, who wanted that call. He didn't get that call. But he's someone that, he's going to be excited next time around when he gets that opportunity if they put him on the Olympic roster. And you just think that the other names that aren't there, like a Steph Curry or Klay Thompson, and to still see the players that were over there, it highlights just the level that we have, Team USA basketball players, but just the expectations and the commitment it takes, because you're going over there and it's on you, man. They're not paying you to be there.
Right.
And that's what I think really does shine through for these dudes at that level, because it's not like a lot of necessarily the track and field athletes and these shot putters that we're meeting for the first time, et cetera, banking in the dough, but these guys are, and they stay committed.
Yep, I'll give them that, and I'm curious where people are, because I know, we've had a lot of conversation on this show. Oh, Durant's soft. What's soft about Durant? Well, he went to that team. Well, okay, all right. Does that make the rest of them soft? Everybody who went to a team to go play with somebody else to better their chances at winning a championship. Are they all soft then? I mean, if that's the case, cool. Just why just him? Well, he had the Twitter burner account, and did you see how sensitive he? Okay, because that's one, and I know I'm supposed to get it, I just don't. But yeah, And look, if you want to get in on track and field, on wrestling, on swimming, Katie Ledecky was terrific. Simone Biles, how's she going to be remembered? Like, how will you remember these Olympics as you go forward? 505-246-0610.
The thing I remember is a great workout at F45. And it was a rough week for your boy here, and I cannot wait to get back into the gym and get going with F45 training. F45 training, high-intensity interval training that's fast, fun, and results-driven. The programs take you through cardio work, strength work, but it's full-body functional fitness, so you're going to constant movement in 45 minutes, different set times, different reps, different weights used, kettlebells, barbells, dumbbells. They have it set up to where you show up, warm up, get going, and you're going to be like, man, that was a fantastic 45 minutes, and I still have time for everything else that you need to get done in a day. So check them out at F45training.com. Download the F45 app today to see what the classes are all about, the descriptions of the workouts. I love the variety throughout the week, the challenge that it puts you through, full body functional fitness. And oh, by the way, on the app, you can sign up for your 7-day free trial. Get in and get going. Check them out at F45training.com. Team training, life-changing. I'll see you at F45.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Well, there's the good about the Olympics, and then there's the stories where like, what just happened? Definitely had a couple of those. See that French marathon runner over the weekend? It was hot in Japan. Like with the heat and humidity, the conditions they were running in, they were pushing things back. They're starting them early in the morning. Challenging conditions. This French marathon runner running by a table full of water bottles and conveniently knocks over the entire row until the very last one, grabs it, and keeps on running. That ain't nice. And then there's a story of the Austrian cyclist, 30-year-old, entered by herself, doesn't have a team, broke away from the pack early. The rest of the cyclists forgot about her. She finishes about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes ahead of everyone. And then the silver medalist finalist crosses the line thinking that she won the gold. And they're like, wait.
What about that one way up there?
This Austrian without a team that entered and hasn't been a professional cyclist for 3 years just beat everyone for a gold medal.
By about 1.5 minutes.
So you have the spectrum of the French marathonist knocking over all the water bottles and saying, oops.
Sorry.
No, that was a bad move. And then look at that. That's a true amateur winning a gold medal in cycling.
Yeah, there were moments. There were moments. Dan didn't like it. Boy, I couldn't disagree with Jerome more. Jeffrey, returning Juan Jose. You got that about it? Watching the Olympics, I was thinking, is this thing ever going to be over? Feels like it's been going on forever. It's from Dan. Okay. You had the remote, right?
You think this is like a Saturday marathon on TBS?
Yeah.
No better than that, Dan.
You had the remote. You could have watched some.
Your years watching Olympics. You know, it's not just a weekend event.
Yeah. Rockies baseball was on for you. You could have watched that mess. No, is that ever going to end?
We can get to Law and Order marathons.
Yeah, I'm sure you could have found something. Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it was good. I thought so. How's Simone Biles going to be remembered? Did you see her face getting off the plane? Like there was a crowd there, and I think she was really worried about how she was going to be received, and just outpouring of love and cheering and balloons and people just adulating, and you could see her face just under her mask loosen up and just smile. And I mean, it was like, I wonder, because people are people.
Well, it's because people don't know how to handle an athlete telling you they can't do something, because that is immediately, that athlete is quitting, as opposed to a coach benching a struggling player, and then you're like, the coach had to do it. That's the move you had to make. You had to take him out. And when it's Simone Biles telling her team, telling the world, I can't do this. I can't do this right now.
This one was tougher to handle, I think, for people because she's the best. When have you seen the best? You saw Kevin Love, who was really good. You've seen Naomi Osaka, who's really good and one of the best. But when have you seen the best ever on the world's biggest stage? And the closest I would tell you would be Naomi Osaka at the French Open, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't know how many of you cared about it. But because you care so much about Olympic gymnastics, because this is your passion, gymnastics. He says, tongue in cheek, because we've never, I don't believe, ever seen the best at something in the world. See, I can't do this because of mental health. I'm not there. I'm not in a place where I can do this. I think that's part of what was so startling about this, and people just couldn't eat it.
And it's one that she has to own. And there were stories talking like she was trying to practice, trying to get through it, and couldn't. And so I'm like not. I agree that you're not necessarily coming out and saying, "Oh no, this is Simone Biles, a hero of the Olympics." No, she's just being honest. And honesty for some people doesn't matter. Like, she couldn't do it. I don't know what else you want to say. I guess if you want to drop the quitter moniker on her, overrated, etc.
Would people have felt better if she went out and competed and fell or gave a subpar performance so they could call her a choker? Would people feel better? Well, at least she tried, Jeff. At least she went out there and she didn't quit on her team. That'd be better for people? I mean, what's better to the people who are in that mindset? To be a choker or a quitter? Well, they're both bad, Jeff. I mean, she can't be the greatest of all time. Or could she be really dealing with some stuff? I mean, is that possible? Is she supposed to be immune from that because she's the greatest of all time? Or she's one of the greatest of all time? And so she's got to be mentally tough. And so when you're mentally tough, you don't have any issues.
Pretty much.
So it's not real.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's some. And I think when you see just what happened, the fact that she had to step away from all the events, finally got to a point where she was able to earn a bronze medal.
On the beam. Yeah. At the end. Yeah.
On the beam. Like, she was trying. And to me, that shows that she was honest. Like, she couldn't handle it in the moment. She took a step back. There's a reason there's an alternate there. And so it was really hard on her team. But how about her teammates? The opportunities that it gave them. The Suni Lee winning medals, like stepping up, gold medals, her teammates. That's the whole point of a team in that situation.
I think that's really what's been lost in this. And I think that's what's wonderful about it, the opportunities and the stars who you got to learn about, the Suni Lees and these other young ladies. And to your point, her coming back and winning bronze towards the end. Well, Jeff, bronze. I mean, third place. Come on. I'm going to hold on to what I told you at the beginning. I don't know that I feel qualified to tell anybody on this planet how they should feel emotionally and mentally. And my guess is this young lady who held on for an extra year and trained her whole life for these moments didn't go over there with a plan to in your words, and you, whoever you are, quit on her team. That this was something that wasn't taken lightly, that she just couldn't handle the pressure, Jeff. I mean, whatever, however you define it. Mental health, mental anguish, and by the way, this is the young lady who's gone through so much emotionally and mentally as being the face of a sexual abuse scandal in her sport. She was like the face of the survivors of the Larry Nassar deal. Coming up through USA Gymnastics and being abused by that, what's the word?
Monster.
Okay. And being the face of that. Now, I'm not telling you that's what happened here, and I'm not telling you it's not. I have no idea. But she carried all of that. And whatever happened this week or last week at the Olympics, she'll live with that. And one day she'll sit down with the modern-day Barbara Walters, maybe it'll be Oprah, or whoever, and she'll have the conversation and talk about it. But, man, get over it. Like, you don't care about Olympic gymnastics. You don't care about gymnastics at all except for 2 weeks every 4 years. And I guess how people are so determined to tell me how somebody is supposed to feel and supposed to perform. I mean, like I'll leave it out there for you. Would it have been better for her to just go out and not do well if she wasn't ready?
Yeah, and then if she failed, and then she started talking about this after the fact.
Then why'd she go?
It's just excuses.
Yeah,
what is she doing?
Yeah.
Can't believe her now. It's just because she didn't do good.
Yeah. So but that's going to be an everlasting piece of this Olympics. Anybody pop on the scene, swimmer-wise, wrestler-wise, track and field-wise, that like you said 2 weeks ago, it's going to be a bunch of people that we've never heard before, right? And now here we are in their household names. Anybody that you're going to kind of lean to?
The name is totally escaping me, but the American shot putter.
Yeah.
It was one of the best ever.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll remember the image. You see the image. Yeah, that's a good one. Softball team was nice. Look, I'm gonna.
I really was taken back by how many local connections there was, specifically UNM athletes that not only were there but took home Olympic medals.
Josh Kerr with a bronze. Courtney Frericks with a silver. Yes. Why am I Howard's first name? Why am I
Andrea Howard?
Andrea Howard.
Team Italy in softball.
Yes. Yeah. It was nice. Look, I don't need it every year. Every 4 years is really nice for me.
Every four.
And with everything that they went through to get to the 2020 Olympics, to stage them, like, my hat's off to them, to the athletes, to the people. And by the way, I thought NBC did a nice job. You know, with the time zone issues that they had, I thought they did a nice job on their platforms. I thought, like I watched water polo the other day. I watched handball the other morning.
Honestly, that's what I love about the Olympics is the randomness you watch because of you have a rooting interest.
Yes. Even if you don't, I watched handball between Denmark.
Flag you want to associate yourself with, it pops up on that screen. You're like, let's go.
I watched Denmark and France play handball. You know what handball is? It's not like up against the wall handball. It's team handball. It's kind of like a soccery, basketball-ish.
I did see a few seconds of it over the weekend.
Yeah, I watched it the other morning.
Water polo is one I'm just always watching going, how are you not drowning at this point in time? Especially if you're the goalie. Like, do you just have to
the whole time
doggy paddle the whole time?
You can't hold on to the those athletes are phenomenal. Just phenomenal. No, that's why I keep getting impressed. 505-246-0610. Brady Hoke from San Diego State, 8:30 this morning. On the Spot Auto Detailing, you've heard me tell you about them for a long, long time. On the Spot Auto Detailing is that, On the Spot Automotive Detailing is the company that comes out to you. They come to you and detail your vehicle. They make it look like the day you took it off the lot. It looks, feels, smells like the day you took it off the lot. Detailing inside and out. So a full wash and wax, a full vacuum and cleaning, and all of the great things they do at your convenience. Where and when it works for you. At home, at the office, on your schedule, not theirs. No time standing in line, no time driving across town. Now they offer paint corrections for anything from scratches to asphalt removal to get your car looking like new again. Look, bottom line is the first impression anybody gets of your vehicle is the paint, right? And it gets scratched. Just driving down the road, sitting in the parking lot. On the Spot now offers paint corrections for all those scratches. With the ceramic coating, it's the best way to protect your paint for years to come. They'll apply the ceramic coating by hand. That makes it last longer, and it gets a more even coating than anybody else can offer. On the Spot Automotive Detailing, if you're looking for the scratch repair and the ceramic coating, you want a detailing to make your car look, feel, smell. It's just time. Here you are going into the fall, coming out late summer, school starting, athletics, everything else. Call On the Spot Auto Detailing. You know they're one of my favorites. 505-859-2859. That's 505-859-2859. Or visit them online at otsdetailing.com.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. DCE Systems want to help schools reopen and keep students, teachers, and staff safe. New Mexico's distributor of Novalent Shield Plus, an antimicrobial hand sanitizer that lasts 24 hours. That's right, 24 hours. 1 liter will provide approximately 2,000 individual applications. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to DCESystemsInc.com to learn more. DCE Systems is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspets.com.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom has portable AC units for rent. Applications include server rooms, retail outlets, healthcare facilities, laboratories, convenience stores and truck stops, events, concerts, and weddings. All of these units are 120-volt plug and play. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide on Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
Nunez might get the Missouri job. And I think you and I talked last week. That almost feels like the one, doesn't it? I mean, but Pete Thamel's reporting that UNLV's AD, Desiree Reed-Francois, is expected to be named the next athletic director at Missouri. They expect an announcement today. So UNLV will be looking for an athletic director again. That's where that's going to be filled. That's where I see him. The former Washington State standing Jim Sturck stepped down. Or was asked to leave at Missouri, so that's how
That's been a challenging job.
Well, since they went to the SEC, it's hard to win there.
Not just that, but they've had their program issues pop up. Things happen.
Social issues
on campus.
Yep.
And Missouri is one of those schools, and there's a lot of power programs that are we're just happy to be here. Don't mind us.
Let's figure it out.
As long as that check keeps cashing, we're good.
Yeah. Jerry, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Hi, Jerry.
Good morning, fellas. How's it going?
Excellent. How you living?
Can't complain. Back getting ready to go back to school and got that commute again. Good to hear you guys again. Been a while. So, a couple of quick things I wanted to throw out there, mostly Olympics related. One totally random. You guys mentioned that cyclist who won just on a totally solo effort. I don't know if a lot of listeners appreciate how difficult that is to do. Like the big thing with cycling is you try to let the other riders like pull you in the wind, kind of like NASCAR. Drafting is a big deal. So it's so much harder to ride alone. The reason that can happen is the Olympics is the only cycling race where you don't get radio. So normally in cycling races you get like the radio so that your director can tell you where the other riders are. So they just had no idea that she even took off on her own. I think that's fascinating. Who knows if anyone else does. But the main reason I wanted to go was about USA basketball.
Yeah.
And people, I do think, obviously, okay, let's not get crazy. The United States has the best basketball players in the world and will for a while. I do think there is legitimate cause for concern, however. I think we're going to start seeing more United States men's basketball teams who lose, and it will start happening, I think, in big tournaments as well, such as the Olympics or some of the bigger FIBA competitions. And I think the problem is you see other countries who actually put time and effort into developing players who can play the game of basketball, as opposed to the United States, where we have a frankly garbage AAU system where it's just find the best athletes at a young age and ooh and ah as they dunk on social media, which is cool and really fun to watch, but we don't teach our kids how to play basketball. And I'm sure you guys get as frustrated with that as I am. But I think that we're going to start seeing that United States basketball has a problem down the future compared to other countries who actually are trying to develop it. Basketball players.
It's interesting. Yeah, Jerry, appreciate it. I think the perspective is good. Youth programs in other countries, are they getting better than us? Obviously, soccer always has been, and are they using that model in other countries? Now, we're going to always have more.
But it's still not the youth model when we get to the Olympic level.
But that's what is elevating other countries to that, right? You go through it, and it's a development process. I get where he's coming from. And now, I don't know that we need to go that way. In basketball, but it's kind of what this country's trying to do in soccer, right?
Yes.
Mirror other countries to catch up, and that's how they're catching up to us in basketball.
Still comfortable victories for them once they overcame the exhibition losses in that first loss to France.
Right. Fred, good morning. How you doing, Fred?
Good, guys. Hey, good to see you guys back again. It's always a great thing to hear both of you guys together. So, hey, I'm like Jerome. I don't call him that much, but the thing is, at the Olympics, I'm just like him. I watch so dang much of the Olympics. I tape so much. I mean, it was so great. I mean, the things to learn, like 30,000 people, 30 million people, living in Tokyo, showing you the city where the athletes couldn't do it. There was 11,000 athletes. When I heard there was 93 nations that won a medal, in the Olympics, and then all the good things. It was kind of, I didn't want Biles to not compete, but by her not competing, you guys already said this a little bit, that Jade Carey went in to go to Sinisa, or however you pronounce her name, Lee, went into all around. Benjamin went into bronze. I thought all the families it was so cool to see all the families. Like when the Lee girl started out, there was maybe 50 people in a room. When she went for all around, there must have been 400 or 500 people in the room, and then that Jacoby girl from Alaska. It was so cool to see the school and all the kids jumping around and everybody going crazy. And you heard a lot about people talking about, the medals aren't important. They're not trying that hard, blah, blah, blah. You watch the Olympics, I don't care if it's a bronze medal. They went crazy when they won a bronze medal. I mean, it was just incredible seeing Felix taking her 11th medal and those girls. I couldn't believe to have McLaughlin, Muhammad, that Mo, and Phoenix winning the 4x400, and you saw how much they won it by. There were just so many exciting things. The Polvo, the girls Polvo.
Yep.
I can't remember the U.S. girl that's been so great for all these years. I felt bad for her because her pole broke, and so she was out of it. And this girl that comes from nowhere, she misses her first attempt. They only get 3 attempts when they start off, and she missed her first 2, and then she makes it. And then she never misses again and wins the pole vault. It's just, God,
great moments,
so many
Fred.
great things.
Yeah, I think you appreciated it, and I think it's cool. And look, it's not for everybody, but obviously you got the most out of it. We're at the top of the hour break. I got to hit it, but it's a great call.
Guy.
No, thank you. I think he hits it, right? That's what he's going to remember. Others won't. That's cool. Well, the good Lord invented the remote control, right?
Indeed.
Brady Hoke, bottom of the hour, 8:30, San Diego State's coach. We'll have a conversation with him as we get closer and closer to college football. 505-246-0610. Aaron's producing on the ProView Network side. Gato Roberto and El Radio on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Center fielder, Cade Bell on first. Here's the pitch to Heath. Struck him out. And great pitching by Alvarado. That'll do it for the Tigers in the top of the 5th.
A great crowd for a mid-afternoon game. Swing and a miss, and there's a strikeout, number 5 for Matt Romero.
Smith talking to the batter here. That's a... Oh, wow. Nice, and that's an out.
What did I tell you? That one's that gets over the head of the right fielder. That's going to bring in 2 runs. As Adrian Martinez with the RBI double.
Towards the latter part. Pitch, and that's another way for a single. That's going to score 2. That makes the score 9-0. So RBI double. That's going to make it. That's it. It's 10 runs there.
One O's a count. And this one's high. It's going deep. And it's going to fall in. He's digging for third, and he gets there. Ezra Mestas with the 3-bagger. He gets the triple, and 2 more runs scored.
Steal to third base.
He brought the hot sauce for strike 3.
Small ball team for Reed Fiegel this year. That one is hit on the line to left. It's going to send Avila back to the warning track, to the wall, and he's going to watch it go. It's a solo homer off the bat of Bo Kidd. One nothing Eagles. Just when we were talking about small ball, the Eagles played long ball. That boy's well hit to left. Coming in on it is Morrison. He drops it, and the Ravens win it.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Siembieda and JJ Ball.
All right, so the Olympics are put to bed. Training camps are coming up. Hall of Fame speeches were this weekend. How many did you sit through? Did you sit through none?
0.
So I think I caught the first couple they were on Saturday before we went out of the first class, but I couldn't tell you who they were. No, it was Harold Carmichael's. That was the first one. That was it. I caught a highlight of Peyton, and if you sat through all of them, I like I said, I don't know if I should congratulate you or just be concerned about you. But there were 2 classes of NFL Hall of Fame being inducted, enshrined this weekend in Canton to make up for last year not having it. And so everybody got their moment, and there was time limits on it, and which is probably good.
Play the music.
Play the music, and 5:05.
2020 on Saturday, and then 20.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. We got to get this moving.
Yeah. No, it's a lot. It's
a lot of jackets, a lot of bronze. Assuming that's what those are made out of.
Troy Polamalu's bust was cool, though. That was really, really cool.
The hair.
Yeah.
A lot of work.
Yeah. I'm impressed by that. All right, 505-246-0610 if you want to get to us today. 888-922-0610. We're in on the Olympics. Now that they're done, your thoughts. My thought is, and I think you're with me, success, good Olympics, circumstances considering, there's a lot of memorable moments. I applaud them. I think they did a nice job, an admirable job, a good job of staging and executing something to that magnitude amidst a global pandemic in a country where cases were surging. Weird, imperfect, but they got them done, and you got your stuff. How did NBC do? I thought NBC did a nice job. HB says Olympics was hard to watch. I would have rather NBC showed the action live, even if that meant at 2:30 in the morning. They did. You could have found it on different platforms. On NBC Channel 4, that was kind of like their anchor spot where they would recap some of the big stuff and show you tape-delayed stuff. But everything was available for you live if you wanted to find it somewhere, whether it was on Peacock, which is a non-pay streaming service, whether it was on CNBC or USA Network or their family of networks. Like, everything was available for you. Now, you did have to make an effort to find it. But that's kind of the world we're in. I mean, it's there. You just got to find it. They're not going to spoon feed you what you want on Channel 4. But you had what, JJ, about 7 or 8 different networks, right?
Yeah, it was there. It just was on
somewhere else. When
in the morning.
Yeah,
live.
It was there. And NBC just kind of pick and choose in their prime time and in their main telecast. Hoser, how do you feel about it? What's up, man?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Excellent.
Just like everybody else, I'm feeling, kind of cool, taking the kids over to the schoolhouse, dropping them off, and listening to you guys. It took me back to, the before Hoser became producer days, back when, it was just me in my car and you guys.
It's good to be back in your car.
Yeah. Hey, as far as the Hall of Fame speeches, that was kind of sad that they cut their time off. Thanks a lot, Ray Lewis. But I thought Peyton Manning did a great job. Of course, he's always comical, but boy, you could tell he wrote everything down, but he was roasting everybody, and I really enjoyed that one. So, and I was wondering why that was. Everybody, I was trying to look for all the speeches, and they were kind of short and sweet. I was like, man, what's going on? Either these guys are not, motivated to, talk about their careers, or, so of course you kind of straighten out those facts about, they're cutting down the time. But,
yeah.
I guess it makes sense. But yeah, I just caught a lot of those, on my Instagram and just watching those clips and those highlights. So I didn't see them live, but I always enjoy that. I always enjoy the, what it means to these guys, especially the guys maybe that you grew up rooting for, and even the ones that you didn't. You just, listening to their road and how they got there, the sacrifices and maybe what they've learned throughout the years. It's an amazing thing. So I always like the speeches, whether it's football, basketball. I haven't really listened to many of the baseball speeches, but the basketball and football, they're definitely, up there for me. So really enjoyed those. And as far as the Olympics, I didn't spend too much time getting in on some of that. It was kind of weird not seeing the spectators there. So yeah, everything just seemed didn't have the same oomph as it had in years past. But it was still great to see, guys competing and getting their dues.
Yep, right on. All right, it's good to be back in your car.
All right.
Welcome back to school.
You guys be good.
See you.
All right.
The speeches are like. Can I tell you my favorite part of what I saw this weekend? They replayed when Jimmy Johnson found out. They did it on the Fox Morning Show when they brought out the guy from the Hall of Fame. The guy who tells you he's in, and I saw that somewhere.
Giant shows up at your door.
That giant shows up and
I'll go to the Hall of Fame.
And that was the raw emotion where they surprised him and told him. I remember that when that happened.
Or putting Jerry Jones on the spot Thursday when he's sitting there at the desk like, so you putting this dude in the Ring of Fame?
Well,
it's like,
Jimmy.
When I'm alive?
Jimmy was big for what we did with the Cowboys, and we're gonna put Jimmy in the Ring of Honor because Jimmy belonged in the Ring of Honor. Yeah, it was all good, and that's the beauty of it. If it's too long, you get to tune out, go play golf, go pick weeds, whatever.
The Hall of Fame game is
brutal.
The best and worst game of the season.
It's brutal
because it's some of the worst played football, but it's the first football you get. So it's a wide range of emotions when you're watching this game, and you're like, these guys are fighting for their lives because it's all the third and fourth stringers, but it ain't a good product.
So Thursday night, and I was telling the story on Friday, I was on the phone with the mobile phone company for an hour and 45 minutes, which is always a good time. So in the background, did I want football or the Olympics? I tried the Olympics, and I was like, all right, enough, I'm done. I just had that game on in the background just because, there was football on, and every once in a while I'd look up and see a football play. But it was so bad. It was so bad. I don't know if it'll be much better this weekend, but you'll get more of it. And then you're going to have storylines this weekend. You're going to have good storylines this weekend in the National Football League. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. I got a bunch of emails that have come in this morning. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Carl says at some point in the near future, Brooks and Bryce are going to have to battle for the belts, right, Jeff? Right now it feels like Tiger and Sergio when it was all talk and no titles. Did you see the golf this weekend? The St. Jude Abraham Answer won in a three-way playoff.
I didn't think I needed to keep watching it.
It was unbelievable. Bryson DeChambeau and Harris English were in the final group. And they made I think they both shoot a 33 on the front. And they make the turn, and they're at like 20 under and 18 under, and a big number. And they both shoot a 40 on the back and just soiled themselves. Balls in the water, more balls in the water at that tournament than any other tournament on tour. And you're just watching these great golfers dump balls in the water like it's you and me. And Bryson fell apart. Harris English did too. And neither one of them made the it was Hideki Matsuyama, it was Barnes, and Answer. And Answer won. But the story was watching these two really, and Harris English has won on tour this year. Bryson is supposed to be the greatest thing ever. It was uncomfortable, wasn't it, watching these guys fall apart on the back?
It was.
Bryson's supposed to be the guy.
Done that though.
Yes,
and it's
a number of times.
First time, won't be the last time. As you looked at the leaderboard before the back nine, you're like, all right, this is probably over.
Yes.
Or something will happen with Bryson and English potentially down the stretch, but all right, time to move on. Nope.
Bad Street felt the same way you did. He said, answer is the answer. Jeff, I was flipping in, and at 150, Harris English was 3 lengths clear of a fading Bry. It looked over. Then when I tuned in again at 4, I was shocked to see a playoff with neither one of those guys involved. What the flip happened? Yes, it was amazing just watching both Bryson and Harris English just fall apart and spray the ball all over that beautiful yard there in Memphis. I haven't seen two leaders like that. I mean, you got two guys make the turn and they're lengths clear of everybody. That's who's going to win the tournament, right? One of these guys is going to win the golf tournament. And it just didn't happen that way. And it was amazing to watch what happened yesterday. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. We're going to hear from San Diego State's coach Brady Hoke. Aztecs, I think, have picked, third in the West this year. They got quarterback issues. Who's going to be their quarterback? They were 4-4 last year. Missed a bowl game for the first time in a decade at San Diego State. Brady's in his second year of his second term as the head coach on the Mesa, but they'll play their games in Carson, California, as the new stadium is being built, so they'll go up to the L.A. area. Life happens. It comes at you quickly. Sometimes there are things that happen along the way, things that are natural that you need help dealing with. New Mail is there to help you with that. Gentlemen, as you age, things like fatigue, weight gain, even erectile dysfunction are some of those natural things. Good chance you're going to be affected. That's where New Mail comes in. They help you deal with those things. They take care of them, and you feel better, but you've got to call them. The number is 505-652-1688, or you can visit them online at Newmail. That's NUMALE.com. I hear excuses all the time. I know you do too. I don't have time. It's not convenient. Where are they? Look, don't make excuses. Make the call. Do this for you. Here's the deal. New Mail's right here in Albuquerque. The process is comfortable. It's convenient. They're with you every step of the way. But the best and most important part of the whole thing, the results are real. It works for men all over the country. They are benefiting from this. Call them and feel better. Do this for you. New Mail's number is 505-652-1688. 505-652-1688, or visit newmail.com and feel better.
Pepsi and Allsups are giving you a...
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspets.com.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome.
Out on the Olympics, Team USA basketball. Great story, fighting all the way back. Or not a good story. The bums. They won the gold, but how can they lose?
Losers.
We're on the golf, too. Jack says Bryson was all over the court, Jeff, and I thought English was going to run out of balls the way he was throwing them in the water. Yeah.
In there.
I mean, it's so... yeah, but then you find one while you're looking for yours. If you come out with two, it's like, all right, well, that one's better.
My goal at some point in life is to finish around with the ball I started.
It's funny. I do that relatively frequently now. I got to that point, played with somebody the other day. Actually, it was Manzanares. And he was all fired up. I played with one golf ball the whole round. He's like, he hit that goal. Yeah.
Because there's bushes that I'm convinced like little people live in.
And they just take balls.
And they just are like, boom, golf balls, and they go underground.
And they eat them.
And they have this like whole black market where they sell golf balls.
No doubt.
To like play it against sports.
Promise.
It's just because sometimes you're like, oh, I think I hit it in this bush. You look there, nope, it is gone.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the game.
The golf ball gnomes.
Bruin James, you all right? What's up, Beej? James.
Hey, good morning, guys.
What's happening?
Can I stand on my box for a little bit, man?
Yeah, we'll
I just want to. There's a lot of things that happen on this weekend, and I want to stand on my box a little bit. First of all, I want to. It's a very sad weekend. We lost a good coach, Bobby Bowden.
Great coach.
He made me proud as a Native American growing up in the Inland Empire. As a Bruin fan, though, I mean, I always had a soft spot in my heart for the Seminoles, because they won and they represented it the right way and everything like that. And Bobby Bowden's going to be a man that's lost for, he was a good man. He often quoted John Wooden, it's not your reputation, it's your character is what makes a man, and your reputation is what other people perceive you, and your character is what you really are. And that was pretty good. I like that. And another to the women's NBA, the women's Olympic basketball team, awesome job. Great job. I remember watching Diana Taurasi, reading about her in the papers here when I was in the IE. Watching her, I mean, they played after the boys varsity. That's how bad she was in high school, and then going on. And this one is pretty good because I want to give props to Pop. Popovich.
Yeah.
Right on. He took a team. They lost. They took a lot of criticism. But I people that know him, and I know people that have been associated with him. So this makes it kind of close to home. You know what I mean? Because I know my buddy was getting recruited, and he was either going to go to Pomona Picture or Occidental. He was in between. Didn't know what he was going to do. He ended up going to UC Santa Barbara. But hey, Pop, man, I want to give props out to you, man. You're a good human being. You do all the right things in this world. And Greg Popovich, he's a good man. It was a good weekend in sports. We had some losses, but hey, sports animal, I love you guys. You guys take care. All right.
See you. Thank you. Look, Pop coached his butt off, I think, in this. And did you hear him say that he just feels looser? It was his post-press conference when he said, I'm going to go back and have something at the hotel. Yeah. He admitted that he was feeling a ton of pressure since for the last year and a half, that there's a lot of pressure. You got to win. You can't be the coach that doesn't win the gold. And he took this over, and he talked about the pressure that he felt. And I thought, look, as imperfect as everything was, he won a gold medal. He turned this thing around. It's not easy to coach that much talent and give everybody playing time. Everybody's used to playing all the time. Figure out how to do it. Figure out the right way.
Yeah, you just got to do it. You have like Chris Middleton that's sitting there on the bench. You just watch a dude win the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I'm going to start Devin Booker.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing is not just the expectations, but the buy-in from the players going, all right, if you're signing up for this, you ain't going to have the same role you have on your team. Like if you sit on the bench, you sit on the bench. But you got to make those decisions.
Yeah, and you've got to have the credibility to buy in. And look, it works if you win, right? If you win, everybody's happy. Well, not everybody, but they all get a gold medal. There was a lot on Pop on this. And I thought, and you look at his staff, Steve Kerr's an assistant coach. Jay Wright is an assistant. I mean, that was an all-star coaching staff too. And they were going to take it if they didn't figure it out. And so I thought this was terrific for them. It's different. It's a different team. I personally won't see them as a tainted team. To your point, I know some will. And even if I think of it, gosh, that's the team that lost to Nigeria. So what?
It goes back to the gap that is still there. The United States roster, from top to bottom, players that are there or not there, is still better than everyone else. Because even, the system coming up, AAU, this and that, like they still won those games after that initial loss to France pretty comfortably overall.
Well, I think that's right. And whatever the wake-up call was, and they avenged the loss at the end. So they were better. Rod says, does Bobcat equal Joe DiMaggio? Jefferson, how many straight days has Bobcat been on the air? How many straight days have you been on the air? Been a month?
Yeah, I think so. I could go back and look at my timesheets and that, but it's been a long time that I've been either here or all across the hall.
It's been a while.
That's okay. I'm used to it.
Lobo Hobo says, speaking of mental health, how is a hungry Bobcat doing this morning, Jeff? It sounded like Strauss had to keep him on a short leash.
George over at Central Grill
was on vacation.
He comes back Wednesday.
You didn't get fed this morning.
No, I didn't. I had to bring my own lunch.
Oof. Oh.
It was oatmeal.
Should have brought like hard-boiled eggs or something.
Nah, can't stand them. Well, I can. They're not my favorite food.
Yeah.
Of course, they're better with smoked salt on them.
I'm going to try that one time. I hear that's really good. All right. Well, people are concerned about you.
Appreciate the concern,
They didn't beat you up in the house too bad this weekend?
No, not too bad.
All right.
Yeah. I keep telling them I've got the button that shuts your mic off.
That's
so
a pretty good
be
point.
good.
I control you. Tellus is in, JJ, college football-wise. Is this the biggest season for 72-20? That's at Wyoming. There wasn't a bigger disappointment, he says, in college football last season than the egg they laid in Laramie. It's time to deliver in Wyoming. Craig Bull's gotten him to a championship game, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Josh Allen, Jeff. Yeah, he did. Nobody else wanted Josh Allen. He did a pretty nice job with Josh Allen, did he not?
Not too shabby.
Have we heard from Craig Bull yet? Have we run that one yet?
I believe we did.
You did. And we heard from Xavier Valladay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Craig was good. He's always pretty good.
I'm going to say Craig Bull is not on the hot seat.
I'm going to agree with you. If there's a coach in this league who's on the hot seat.
Ooh, haven't done that one yet.
If there is one. I'm not certain. I think there is one. I think Troy Calhoun's pretty secure where he is. You've got, 5 or 6 first-time, second-year coaches, and it feels like first year because of everything.
Yeah.
Is Adazio on the hot seat in his second year just because of all the other stuff that's gone on up there? I'm looking at it. I mean, it's certainly not in Fresno, and it's not. I don't think Brady
There's no hot seat coaches in the Mountain West.
I don't think so.
There's none.
I don't think so. If there's one, would it be Adazio at Colorado State?
It could be if the noise continues. It seems like they did get through the off-the-field issues, questions about Steve Adazio. But to your point on young coaches, Andy Avalos hasn't even coached a game yet. It's year one. Adazio, second year. Kalen DeBoer, second year. Todd Graham, second year. Marcus Arroyo, second year. Danny Gonzalez, second year. Brady Hoke, he's not on the hot seat. Brett Brennan just won a championship.
Second year, by the way, yeah.
Blake Anderson, first year at Utah State.
Kalen DeBoer, second year. He probably needs to. I mean, I will tell you the Kalen DeBoer thing. The talk in Vegas, they did not like losing to New Mexico. I mean, that one was one that was hard for them to eat. Deal with it. You got beat. But I to your point, I don't know that I think there is a coach on the hot seat, and it's certainly not Craig Bull. Brady Hoke's coming up next. Your conversation with San Diego State's head man, 505-246-0610. After that, you can send emails, Jeff or JJ, at sportsanimalabq.com. Use the NMDOT text line as well. So many homeowners only refinance to get a lower rate, which is great. But you should know there are a lot of other ways to benefit from a refi, like using your equity to get rid of high-interest debt or to pay for your next home improvement project. But both those things can be easily done with the help of American Financing. These guys are the real deal. Their mortgage consultants will listen to your financial goals. Then they will create a custom loan that will help you achieve those goals. Best of all, they never press you into anything. And they don't charge upfront fees. They don't charge hidden fees. It's just a simple conversation around the many ways they can help you save up to $1,000 a month. That's right, a month. Their mortgage consultants look at your entire financial picture, so they're able to save you the most money. They're in it for you. They'll get you pre-qualified for free when you call them at 423-551-6525. That's 423-551-6525. Or visit online AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. DCE Systems want to help schools reopen and keep students, teachers, and staff safe. New Mexico's distributor of no-valent Shield Plus, an antimicrobial hand sanitizer that lasts 24 hours. That's right, 24 hours. 1 liter will provide approximately 2,000 individual applications. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to DCESystemsINC.com to learn more. DCE Systems is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom has portable AC units for rent. Applications include server rooms, retail outlets, healthcare facilities, laboratories, convenience stores and truck stops, events, concerts, and weddings. All of these units are 120 volt plug and play. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacalm.com to learn more.
Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning and welcome to the Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talk It Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Austin imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
Center fielder, Cade Bell on first. Here's the pitch to Heath. Struck him out. And great pitching by Alvarado. That'll do it for the Tigers in the top of the fifth.
Long Danny Gonzalez up against their former schools. The opening drive, Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck. San Diego State was 4-4 last year in an abbreviated season. They lost Colorado, and they lost to BYU. 4-2 in conference, J.J. Brady Hoke's now in his second year of his second term. First time the Aztecs did not go to a bowl game in a decade. But I think it's fair to say that this is one of the most solid programs in this league still, like at the top echelon of the top two, if not top three programs in this league.
No question about it. Solid program, but now facing a big question mark because they've been caught. Now that window could be really small for, say, Nevada and San Jose State with the quarterback play, but that's still been a problem for the Aztecs, is finding that guy that can help take them to that next level.
New stadium being built on campus. They will play in Carson another year. Here's my conversation with San Diego State's coach, Brady Hoke.
Brady Hoke is San Diego State's head coach, second year of his second term as San Diego State coach. How you doing?
Doing great, Jeff. How are you?
Well, thank you. It's great to see you, and it's great to see you back in this point, and you get excited for a football team. Coming off a season that for San Diego State over the last decade was, I guess, a down season at 4-4. First time they missed a bowl game in a decade. Motivating, distressing. As you look at it, I know you're pretty positive. I guess you're going to use that as a motivator.
Well, yeah. Well, there's no doubt about it. But I can tell you, I'm really proud of that team. We got to play 8 straight weeks. We picked up Colorado with 48 hours. Played them really well. Really happy with where we're at as a football team. Coaches did a good job. Short spring from, the pandemic. Offense, new, kind of difficult a little bit. It was some of those pieces, but it's been great. So we're happy about it.
What you didn't throw in there is that you're playing home games 2 counties away, that you can't play in San Diego. That'll be the situation again this year as the new stadium's built. I don't know how that plays into it, and maybe this year it'll be different because there's going to be fans, and you'll tap into the LA fan base. But for people who don't know, Aztecs will be playing home games in Carson, California, where the Chargers have been playing the home of the LA Galaxy, and so that factors into it too.
Yeah, it does. I mean, our kids had to... Their parents had to travel. They had to travel to Utah State. They had to travel to Nevada to see their sons play. And The worst part probably was they couldn't hug their sons after a ball game. So, I give a lot of credit to the guys on that team, the leadership on the team. We've got to be better at quarterback, and that's one of the things I know right now we're better than we were a year ago at quarterback. I think our strength of our team is our front seven on defense. A lot of guys with a lot of snaps coming back. And offensively, I think running the football, it's got to be a big part of who we are. And as we move forward a little bit, I think that's going to happen.
So I'm going to get into all that stuff. Brady Hoke, San Diego State's coach, you just talked about parents wanting to hug their kids. An athletic director told me one of the hardest parts about last year is they would see on the road, the parents would see their kids. They hadn't seen them anywhere on Zoom in 3, 4, 7, 10 months. And if they hugged them, then the kid couldn't play because you had to quarantine them and keep them away. I mean, and that was a reality of what you were dealing with.
Oh, there's no doubt. And, I can remember the Nevada game, and one of our defensive linemen, his mom was there, and she's trying to get to him, and, she can't get to him. And I really felt bad. Felt bad for him, felt bad for his mother, but it's the world we lived in a year ago, and thank goodness it looks like we're not going to be in that same world.
All right, I'm going to Brady Hoke of San Diego State's with us. I'm going to talk about your team. You've got 2 Albuquerque area kids. One Rio Rancho and Jordan Bird, who was co-MVP of the New Mexico Bowl 2 years ago. You're going to rely. You talk about your running game. You got power runners, and then you got a guy who can fly on the outside, and that young man, huh?
Well, there's no doubt, and Jordan is one of probably my favorite guys on the football team. Goes to work every day, plays hard, can do multiple things from returning punts to returning kickoffs to playing an inside slot receiver to what you can do on the outside zone plays and getting him in space a little bit. So I really, really, really love everything about Jordan. Keyshawn Banks, I'm sure, was
from Rio Rancho, who also has been spectacular.
Yeah, he has, and he's been great. And me, being a D-line coach, I still coach him. I love it. I love him. I really think how he's grown as an individual and as a person has been really, really positive, and he's been a heck of a football player for us.
Talked about quarterback, and it's a competition going in. You said we need better play, probably more consistent play at quarterback to win. I think every coach will sit here and tell you that, but some guys in this league have it made right now. You're probably figuring out how to get it made.
Well, there's no doubt, and I think what we've done, some of the moves we made. We've got Lucas Johnson, who transferred in from Georgia Tech a year and a half ago. It took him a little bit to grow and learn. I think Jordan Brookshire really had a good spring. And then Jalen Maiden, who transferred from Mississippi State. They all 3 did really good things in the spring. And then they all 3 had a hiccup here or there. But right now, I think Lucas would be the guy if we started the season.
You look at the schedule. I think I know you got the Lobos. I think you got New Mexico State on the schedule as well, right? So you open up with New Mexico State, a team that's a team that didn't play last year. They had 2 games in the spring, but I don't know what you judge out of that. We'll get into New Mexico here in a minute and the familiarity, but you just open up at home against a team that you don't know who their quarterback's going to be, and you probably got nothing to go on with them.
Well, it's. Yeah, you're right, and I think some of it is they've had some guys come and transfer. They got some offensive linemen. I know they got a few defensive players. So knowing who you're going to play against a little bit on that first game, and I would think at the same time, Coach Martin probably is still figuring us out a little bit because we changed so much offensively.
What have you changed? I mean, a lot offensively as far as philosophy?
A little bit more run game. We're going to run the ball, but more of 11 personnel, 12 personnel, 13 personnel.
Brady Hoke is with us, San Diego State's head coach, and you were in Albuquerque for the New Mexico Bowl a couple years ago. It kind of feels like forever ago, but it kind of feels like yesterday, 2019. The experience there hosting the Aztecs was so much fun. winning always helps, right? The winning coaches always smile more. They're like, you're smiling more than Jim McElwain and Rob Akey did. But the experience coming down, it felt like the kids, I know that was kind of a Jordan Bird, Keyshawn Banks homecoming in some respects, but it felt like it was a good experience.
It was a great experience. I know our players enjoyed it. They had a good time with it. The host, they all did a great job, the people, yourself included. I mean, there's no doubt. I think it's a great bowl game. I think it's a great experience. What a beautiful part of our country, and we enjoyed it. My wife enjoyed it, and if the wives enjoy it,
matters.
You know it's pretty good, right?
Rudy Davalos told me years ago when we first started, he says, how do you know you had a good bowl game? I said, I don't know, you made money, the ratings were good. He says, coaches' wives are happy. And I said, yeah, that's why we do the spa day. So that's why we do it. Brady Hoke is San Diego State's head coach. That was Rocky Long's last game as head coach of San Diego State. You're going to get the Lobos this year, and there's going to be Rocky Long on the other side. There's going to be Danny Gonzalez on the other side. Familiarity always in this game, right? You guys are all 2 degrees separated from each other, but you're the one who brought Rocky to San Diego State. Initially, he was the defensive coordinator. What do you? I don't know how much you've thought about that day and what that's going to look like, and just kind of what Rocky and Danny are able to do at New Mexico, because they've got. It feels like they've got something moving in the right direction there.
Well, I'm sure they do. I think both of them, a ton of respect for both, and obviously I hired Coach Long to be the defensive coordinator here when I first came, and he hired me back to coach the D-line and then become the head coach. So it's awesome, since 1992, 93 with Rocky at Oregon State, and putting this defense in, going down to see Jolie Dunn at Ole Miss and putting it in. I mean, it was something else. And, his friendship, he means a lot to me. He's one of my favorite guys I've coached with. Probably my best assistant coaching experience was the year with him, and we went to the New Mexico Bowl. So that was fun. But it just, both of them. Danny, I was hiring here. He had interviewed as I was getting ready to take the Michigan job. So at San Diego State, and so Rocky obviously was the one who told me about Danny. I had interviewed him, and then there it happens.
There's going to be a link with San Diego State and New Mexico, it feels, for a little while, isn't there?
Oh, I think so. I don't think there's any doubt about it.
It's a good link and maybe a rivalry budding. Lastly, Brady, I want to talk to you about the excitement around the program. I saw a few years ago what the new stadium did for Colorado State, and it rejuvenated that whole community. San Diego State's in the midst of building a new stadium, a new West Campus on the property where the old Jack Murphy Qualcomm Stadium was, and that's why you're playing in Carson. The excitement around that is palpable. As an alum, obviously, I'm getting a lot of pitches. But what do you feel it doing for your football program?
Well, number one, I think it's already made a difference. I think it's made a difference in our recruiting. I think visually what we've done with the technology to show kids and families, and now seeing the steel come up, it is absolutely going to be the nicest stadium in the Mountain West Conference. And the amenity, and I can't say the word. And there you go.
Amenities. That's my Aztec, my San Diego State education.
There you go. But I think all that and what they're doing and how they're setting the concourses up, the field, the food places, it's just been unbelievable.
It's exciting. It's good to see you. I'll find you at some point this season. But best of luck to you and the Aztecs.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Brady Hoke, San Diego State's coach. You can respond to that as he gets ready to start the season against New Mexico State. The Aggies will play first against UTEP in week 0. All in Autographs is special. I was there this weekend. Lincoln Kennedy was there, JJ. They had a VIP cigar and whiskey night on Saturday night, and had a terrific turnout. They had signings out there, and I brought a few people over just to look around the place, and they all marvel. Everybody who goes into All in Autographs just marvels at how good this place is. It's one of the premier autograph sports memorabilia collectible places in the Southwest. 2225. Wyoming Northeast, just to the south of Manal. Call them at 505-504-8255. 7575, and I suggest you take a look at him at allinautographs.com. Steve Garvey's in this weekend, the former Dodger, the former Duke great. You can meet him and get him to sign something. Look around. You're going to find something that you love, whether it's from the music world, history, entertainment, and, of course, sports memorabilia. You will find something from a Prince signed guitar to a backstage pass from Grateful Dead, Stan Musial card, Pete Rose signed jersey, whatever it is you're looking for. And if you're looking for a gift for someone who buys everything and has everything for themselves, you will find something at All In Autographs. Check them out at allinautographs.com. Steve Garvey this weekend, 2225 Wyoming Northeast Suite F, just to the south of Manal.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
10, the sports animal. All right, you can respond to what Brady Hoke had to say. Both the Lobos and the Aggies will get San Diego State this year. I would expect San Diego State to be stout defensively. He told you a few times they will run the football. And I expect they'll figure it out at quarterback. I mean, they got a transfer from Mississippi State. They got guys coming back. They've got good recruits. I expect that they will be just fine, don't you?
Because it's, as you mentioned, the program that they've built, they're so good on the offensive and defensive lines. Defensively overall, you go back to the run that Brady was there, but Rocky got him to the next level, to that foundation process. This is Rocky Long.
No doubt.
Brady Hoke's back, but he still has a lot to prove.
No doubt.
At San Diego State. And that's really helped them. But the biggest question is, can they be more than just a guy to get by offensively? Quarterback play is a huge issue for them right now.
It is, and you figure they're gonna figure it out because they've got, there's a bunch of guys in there that, and Jeff, if you got a bunch, you don't have one, and I understand that. I love what he said about Jordan Bird. What did he say? My favorite guy on the team, or one of my favorite guys. He loves Keyshawn as well, and so there's a New Mexico feel to it. And I do. Who was I talking to yesterday about this? Where was I? Oh, I was at dinner with some Lobo fans, and they've got they just don't like Aztec fans. They're mean. I'm like, yeah. And Lobo fans are so polite and so cordial and so right. Like these Aztec fans, they were saying these things and they at this one game, and I'm like, I know, but because Lobo fans don't ever say stuff, and right, and they're like, okay, well, yeah, you're right.
Insert whatever fan.
But do you feel there's a San Diego State, New Mexico? Is rivalry fair? Certainly, Lobo fans have something for San Diego State. I don't know if San Diego State fan is indifferent. I think they probably have it for the Lobos too. And I say that there's going to be that tie. Basketball, you were really tied at the hip for a while.
Basketball, it needs to be reignited.
Well, it obviously needs to be reignited because and that was, remember, San Diego State was the series, the team that New Mexico opted to not play in basketball last year. Remember? They didn't just they didn't play each other. New Mexico opted to not and really reignited the ire of San Diego State fan. And then in football, you've got two guys from here playing there, and you had Rocky and Danny coach there.
There's potential in football, but it's a lot tougher just because you don't see them every year.
Yeah. How I feel about rivalries in college athletics, and I think they're so healthy. And I'm not sure in this league who really is your rival. You've played all these schools forever, but is there And you can't create that. Does that bud with San Diego State? I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. 505-246-0610 is how to get to us. 888-922-0610. Tomorrow we will have a conversation with Andy Avalos, the new head coach at Boise State. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck. Bobcat produces on the radio. Aaron's producing for you on ProView Networks on 95.9 FM and AM 610 at the Sports Animal.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. DCE Systems want to help schools reopen and keep students, teachers, and staff safe. New Mexico's distributor of no-valent Shield Plus, an antimicrobial hand sanitizer that lasts 24 hours. That's right, 24 hours. 1 liter will provide approximately 2,000 individual applications. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to DCESystemsInc.com to learn more. DCE Systems is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that could happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom has portable AC units for rent. Applications include server rooms, retail outlets, healthcare facilities, laboratories, convenience stores and truck stops, events, concerts, and weddings. All of these units are 120-volt plug and play. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Jeff Siembieda, J.J. Buck. Mike, Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning, welcome to Sports Desk Live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
Center fielder, Caden Bell on first. Here's the pitch to Heath. Struck him out. And great pitching by Alvarado. That'll do it for the Tigers in the top of the fifth.
A great crowd for a mid-afternoon game. Swing and a miss, and there's a strikeout, number 5 for Matt Romero.
Smith talking to the batter here. That's a, oh, wow. Nice, and that's an out.
What did I tell you? That one's a...
7 o'clock in the morning. 7 a.m. where have you been? 7 a.m. where is your brother?
voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. This is the opening drive with two-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Siembieda, and J.J. Buck.
All right, so as you turn the page now, you get off the Olympics a little bit. You start now really gearing to football. JJ's dove into, he's deep into the, who you reading about right there? The Running Rebels? What are you reading about? The Lobos in the Athlon book and the magazines, and we're a couple weeks out. And the Aggies play UTEP coming up here in a couple weekends. We're moving forward. It's the opening drive, Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck. What'd you learn?
Well, the conversation about rivalries, I think, is really important. And for some reason, and I think this kind of just the Lobo fan overall, there's not a connection with beating Mountain West foes. And
you've been playing them for decades.
The teams in your division, beating Air Force or beating Colorado State, which I haven't done actually in quite some time, but it doesn't feel like that's resonating yet. Where I get it, BYU's gone, etc. And so, how do you get there? Well, you got to win, and they haven't done that for a while. But to the point on San Diego State, with the connections there, coaching, can it be a rivalry? It's really tough because of the schedule. You only see them like every few years with the crossover in the division. But you could get there if somehow you meet them in a conference title game.
It'd be big.
Or two. But I do believe there is an issue with getting the Mountain West to resonate with Lobo fans.
So I believe that is because all of the other institutions in your division have other geographical rivals. So the teams in your division are Air Force, Colorado State, Wyoming, Boise State, and Utah State. Colorado State and Wyoming have that border war rival. They're 45 miles apart, or whatever the number is. Air Force has Army and Navy. Utah State has BYU and Utah. Boise State is just that. I don't even know that they have a rival. It feels like it's been some of the old WAC schools if they have a rival. It's more of a Fresno State, Nevada thing, right? And so I've always thought that's why. New Mexico has New Mexico State. That's their rival. But like if who would be the biggest rival in this league? Who is it that really gets Lobo fans' blood pumping when they're on the schedule, whether it's football, whether it's basketball? And since BYU has left, I would tell you my feeling is that it's been San Diego State. Now, I don't know that San Diego State feels that way, although I think there was a minute when Alford and Fisher were going at each other in basketball that it was that way in basketball. That when they were the two premier teams in this league, that I do believe that was there, and I thought it was really, really healthy. The football piece, again, rivalry, you got to beat each other, man. Hammer and Nail play each other all the time. Hammer wins every time. Until the Nail wins, you have a rivalry, right? So that's... I don't know if, to your point in football, if it'll be there, and who that is ever going to be in football, the way it's currently constructed divisionally. But that's always been my feeling why, because I agree with you. I don't know that there is a real intense rival in this division for New Mexico.
And when you lay it out that way, you start seeing that the Lobos don't have that once you get to Mountain West play. And on the football field, San Diego State and New Mexico have only played 2 of the last 5 years. Now, last year, of course, was just crazy overall, but still in the scheduling, you get them kind of back-to-back years, home and home, and then they're off the schedule
for 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the crossover. It's the way. And look, if leagues get bigger, it's not going to get any better. That's why I'm not a big fan of these 16-team leagues, by the way. You're in the same league, but you don't play each other. And then now you can't go on and schedule non-conference games because you're in the same conference. I'm not a big, but that's a whole another can of worms. In San Diego State would, I think, much rather play regional. Obviously, they want to play the UCLAs. They want to play the Arizona States in non-conference. But I think, if you ask them who's their rival, it's not like Fresno State's a huge rival for them. I mean, they go back a long time. They're in the Cal State system. I think Fresno State cares more about San Diego State than San Diego State cares about Fresno State.
I think it's Boise State, just because they're the teams that are competing to say, hey, we're carrying the flag for the conference right now. We've been in multiple Mountain West title games.
Yeah, and I think it's hurt New Mexico State too. Rivalry-wise, I think the budding rivalry that they've had with Grand Canyon in basketball has been healthy. Right, but you got to have good competition. You got to play each other and have good games, and you got to get beat by them every once in a while to have a good rivalry. There's got to be something for you to dislike about the other guys, whether it's their fans or their coaches or Danny Ainge or whatever it is, right? Or Jimmer Fredette. There's got to be something to it. I look. One of my favorite things about college athletics is rivalries. I'm so looking forward to September 11th. I love the New Mexico State game. Well, Jeff, I mean, who cares? Well, people care. It's actually really fun. You and I were out there 2 years ago at University Stadium, and it felt like college football. We're walking around the tailgate lot, watching people, having a great time. The place was packed. There were 30,000 people there, and it felt like college football. I grew up on USC, UCLA. I watched Stanford, Cal, and Oregon State, and Washington. I've been to Apple Cups. Like they mean something. I'm with you on the rivalry thing, and I don't know. You can't create them, and I think conference expansion or reconstruction or the constant shuffling, I think it's destroyed a lot of that in college athletics, and I think it's been a detriment.
It has, because you're still going to get the biggest rivalries because they're going to find a way to do that. But
sometimes A&M and Texas don't play anymore. Now they will.
OU, Texas, Alabama, Auburn, Michigan, Ohio State, and things along those lines. And I think really for Lobo football, it's just about success. And while you might not have those games in Mountain West play, it's winning, getting some consistency over the next few years, becoming bowl eligible, competing to win the division, and that's going to be what you can do. But when the games come around, there's definitely streaks that you need to break. Like looking down
Colorado State streak.
Yeah. The fact you beat Boise State like once ever there.
That was a heck of a night. It was a great night.
You lost 4 in a row to Utah State. So there's a lot of things that need to change, but rivalry might not be there, but you get that consistency. You start competing. You start pushing in the division. That will get people's attention.
Bourne says, JJ and I are like one on this issue, Jeff. Old school Lobo fans loved playing UTEP, BYU, Utah, Texas Tech, and the Arizona schools. Does your blood really get pumped for Boise State, for Nevada? The UTEP thing is always been one of the fascinating things to you and me, because I've never understood what UTEP brings to the table, but Lobo fan loves playing UTEP. And so, fine. If that's the rival, like they're going to play UTEP on the 24th in football. Every time they play them in basketball, it feels like there's something to it. So I'm down. Like play UTEP then.
It'd be the 79th meeting between New Mexico and UTEP this year.
Yeah, look, I'm down with that. And with all,
it has a lot of old school fields.
It does, and with all due respect, those two programs are pretty much in the same spot, aren't they? Building, very little recent success. Yeah, go play UTEP. I'm down with that. Now, would it be good if they were in the same league? Do you feel that rivalries carry more weight when they're league games? So does Oklahoma State carry more weight because they're in the Big 12 than Florida State when it's a non-league game? New Mexico State.
That is total case by case, because the initial answer is yes, because there's a little more to it. But I don't know. What do you think? Iowa State games?
Right. I mean, so it's like Clemson, South Carolina, Florida State, Iowa State. Those interstate rivalries that are non-league games. New Mexico State. I mean, they're there every year. I still think they're special. I do. Yeah. I've contended. I'd love to see, and look, I'd love to see New Mexico State in this league. I just think it would free up New Mexico and New Mexico State schedules, basketball-wise. You could do so many more things. But these rivalry games that would mean so much twice a year in basketball, that would mean so much in football every year, much like you watch, the Western United States rivals are mostly, not all, but mostly league games. Arizona State, Oregon State, SC, UCLA, those things. You've got a few that are not. But I just think the intensity and what it brings, and you're in the same league and you hate them and you don't want them, because now it's like it ups the rivalry, because now you could say, well, I like the Aggies except for when they play the Lobos. Well, if they're in your league You want to see them get pumped every week, right?
Yes.
So I think it just brings the rivalry to another level. But yeah, I'm with you on the rivalry thing. I think that's what makes college athletics, and I don't feel, and I haven't in this league, that there's been a real rival, which is, I guess, fine. You know, who's Utah State's rival in this league? I mean, you know, they hate BYU. They're not in the league. Can you create that? You don't. Is it San Diego State in basketball? It might be. You better get better for it to be, because right now they've been beating you up for a couple of years. But I think rivalries are a big thing, and that's why I'm looking forward to September 11th.
And what you need to look forward to is your next visit into F45 training. So what is it that I enjoy so much about F45 training? I think it's the fact that I don't have to think about it. I schedule it, and then I show up and my workout is ready to go. And that's the thing with working out is, yeah, you want to invest time, but sometimes if you're on the go, you didn't write down your workout plan, you can show up to the gym, be like, all right, we're doing chest day, but then you're like, well, I did bench, I'll do incline. Like, what are you doing to really challenge yourself, push yourself to the next level? With F45 training, it's full body, high intensity workouts that are going to help push yourself to the next level, that can help kickstart your fitness. And it's all set up when you get there, and it's just 45 minutes. You show up, the class is ready to go. Whatever specific day it is, it's geared. Go through your warm-up. You go through your orientation of, boom, here's the class today. The monitor's on the wall, keep you on track, and you get going. And you get your workout in, and you move on without hoping things are going to be available, without hoping that, well, if I'm doing arms today, maybe this is going to be available or that. No, F45 training, you book your class, it's set, you go in and you get your workout in, and it is fantastic. So check them out at f45training.com. Download the app today so you can look at the schedule of classes. They do have classes available 7 days a week. You can read the class descriptions, but what you're going to be doing each specific class. But the biggest thing is just 45 minutes. Everything is set up. You show up, you get your workout in, and you move on with the rest of your day. In and out, great workout, F45 Training. Check them out now, f45training.com. Download the app. You can also sign up for your 7-day free trial on the app. Team training, life-changing. I'll see you at F45.
Jim
all in Morikawa.
Fielder. That's going to bring in 2 runs as Adrian Martinez with the RBI double.
Towards the latter part. Pitch, and that's another way for a single. That's going to score 2. That makes the score 9-0. So RBI double. That's going to make it. That's it. It's 10 runs there.
1-0's the count. And this one's high. It's going deep, and it's going to fall in. He's digging for third, and he gets there. Ezra Mestas with the 3-bagger. He gets the triple, and 2 more runs scored.
Steal to third base.
He brought the hot sauce for strike 3.
Small ball team for Reed Fiegel this year. That one is hit on the line to left. It's going to send Avila back to the warning track, to the wall, and he's going to watch it go. It's a solo homer off the bat of Bo Kidd. One nothing Eagles. Just when we were talking about small ball, the Eagles played long ball. Good over with 2 outs here. That boy's well hit to left. Coming in on it is Morrison. He drops it, and the Ravens win it.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're #1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50
Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
On rivalries, get on the Olympics. Jared came in here. I disagree. I didn't think the NBC did a good job at all. He didn't even have a TV.
That's wild.
I know, isn't that wild?
I get not having cable, not having satellite. Yeah. Every time I look at that bill, I'm like, what am I doing?
I know.
But he doesn't own a TV. Yeah. There's not a television set in their house.
Yeah. It works, he said. It works. He's fine. Next generation.
That's wild to me. Even cord cutters, I figured, TVs, so you can stream stuff, throw your movies on. Yeah. Watch your shows? Nope.
Yeah. Well, we watched. I mean, we how do you get Holy Moly? I guess you can
Hulu.
Yeah, and just watch on that small screen. Remember, at one point we all wanted the biggest screen possible. I wanted 80 inches of TV, and now it's like I'm going to watch on my 5-inch screen on my phone. Whatever.
I'm still a TV guy.
Yeah, I am too. I got no problem with it. I have no desire to change. I'm happy with it. So. TV to watch Cowboys. Omar's concerned about his Cowboys. Obviously, I'm concerned when I hear our overpaid quarterback didn't play against Ramit over the weekend, Jeff. And now the news coming out of the Star that he might not be able to take the pitch in preseason at all. If this overpriced experiment fails, it might be the undoing of Coach Jones. You worried about Dak yet? At what point do you worry about his? He can't throw a football. At some point, don't you got to kind of
week one of the NFL regular season?
That's when you're worried.
He can't throw football. I'll be worried.
All right,
because Dak wasn't taking the field if he could throw.
That's probably right. That's probably right. Yeah, that's probably right. Deshaun Watson back at practice for the Texans for the first time in a week. He did report to camp. Remember, then he requested a trade, and then they held him out, and on. So he's at camp. Josh Allen.
Is that not the most awkward situation?
It is awkward as can be.
It's a civil suit. I understand it. But the allegations aren't good.
Yes.
And there's a ton of them against Deshaun Watson. And for him just kind of be there, standing around, not practicing.
Knowing he wants out, but he's got to be there to get paid. Yep.
I ain't trading for that dude. I don't care how good he is. I'm not bringing that mess to my franchise.
Yep.
What a disaster.
Yes. Absolutely everything you said. Yes. Josh Allen got paid 6 years, $258 million. Good for him, man. Remember all the crap he took? I can't.
He's good. Made one of the biggest jumps we've ever seen. He has all the talent. He can throw a football really hard, but he completing like 50% of passes. That's not good at any level. And then he became one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And this is what you do. And the point of Dak Prescott is overpaid. No, if you want to be good in this league, you have to quickly figure out when you have a good quarterback,
pay him,
what that number is going to be on your cap. So then you can continue to build a football team around him.
Yep.
This was a great move for the Buffalo Bills because guess what? As you always say, life's getting back to normal slowly but surely. And you know what's going to happen? That cap number is going to tick up.
Promise. For
the NFL. And that contract in 3-4 years going to look pretty good for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I think that's right. I listened when I was going back before I went to Vegas for the meet. I was clearing some space and I saved a couple of the Josh Allen interviews. I listened back to him when he was still at Wyoming, and I'm such a fan of that young man. Like just a good I root for him and all the crap that he took, and to watch him become this good. It's like every once in a while I do root for a guy. Hello, Rudy. How you living? I root for you too, by the way.
I'm doing great. You know, I have a few musings about the Olympics. I went to the '84 Olympics, the whole 14 days out in Los Angeles. We had tickets to various events, including track and field. Got to see Mary Decker Slaney get
it was Zola Bud
blown out of the water by Zola Bud. Remember that?
Yep.
And then Carl Lewis running. That's the fastest I've ever seen anybody run.
Oh. Yep.
Yeah, just unbelievable excitement, the crowds. So that was all lacking in Tokyo, and I think that really held back the Olympics. But, you know, there were some outstanding moments. Sydney McLaughlin just keeps breaking her world record every time she goes out there. You know, I was sitting there watching Josh Kerr run, and I sponsored him for the Hall of Fame a couple of years ago. So congratulations to Josh on getting a bronze medal. Man, that's something special.
Very much so.
I mean, you think about his career and what he's been able to accomplish. He was the 1,500-meter champ for the NCAA, wasn't he?
I believe that's right. When he was a senior year, or I don't even think it was his senior year, right? Because he left early. His last year at UNM. Yes, I believe that's correct.
Correct. That's what made him the male athlete of the year for the Albuquerque Sports Hall of Fame. So congratulations to him and Courtney Ferricks and all the UNM athletes that did so well out there. I'm wondering why Joe Franklin isn't on the USA track team as a coach.
That's a great point. Honestly, it's a great point how he doesn't get more love than he does, because what he's built here and the athletes that he has found around the world is spectacular. Like, he is world class. And by the way, he's just good quality people.
He's a great guy. Every time I bump into Joe, you know, he's just one of those guys that this is one of the jewels of our community, and we should really cherish all these moments. That guy is to call this place his home for now and to stay here and be so loyal to UNM is really gratifying to see that. And not a lot of coaches, you know, they just want to get out of here if they can and get more money. And I think he just really appreciates the people around here that always encourage him. And I hope, you know, anybody out there, go watch these kids. There's something amazing. We have a great track program at UNM.
No doubt.
I think that, you know, went to the Isotopes game last night. Man, when you're down 8-0, it's tough to win a baseball game.
And they came back on it and almost did.
That's the craziest thing I've ever seen. You know, they almost came all the way back. I remember a Duke's game, it was 14-0, and they came back. I was there with Scott Fader, and you know how Fader was at games. So it ended up being 17-16 and 17 innings. I think we stayed for the whole bloody thing. But the Dukes came back and won, down 14-0 going into the bottom of the seventh. So it's wooden bats. It's not Major League Baseball, and you don't have all the arms that you do up at the big leagues. That's why it's entertaining.
Yep, I was out Friday night for Spark Kindness Night, or the Kindness Night out there. I thought that they did a nice job with that. The jerseys were beautiful, and it was so good to see Mike and Avery and Josh out there, and remembering Jen, and then Duke's Night. I honestly, like, the Duke's uniforms, I forget every year how much I love them. Like just aesthetically, how pleasing they are to me. Like, it was awesome.
I still got my Duke's caps, you know. Yeah. Still know the little tune. Going to have to head out to the autograph place. What's called All In?
All In Autographs. I promise you will love that place. You will love it.
I've been there. Yeah. But I've been there. I was there for their opening, but I want to go out there and visit with Steve Garvey.
Right on. He'll be there this weekend. All right, my friend.
Thanks.
Be well.
Take care.
Yeah, the baseball was fun this weekend. It was good crowds, and you got a great call, right? Bobby was just showing me a great play from. He's busy. He called me over. You've got that call that you wanted me to run. We were just talking about. Rudy was just talking about it. It was a 9-3 double play. Fly ball to center, went over his head. The right fielder comes in from behind, sliding catch, and then doubles a guy up. It sounded like this.
Here's the pitch. This was hit in the air, right center. Valade may not see it. Sprinting over is Snyder to try to help his teammate, and he makes a sliding catch. Throw back to first base. He got him! He got him! What a throw! Taylor Snyder just did his Kelly Leak impersonation. Just run everywhere, make the catch.
Kelly Leak, of course, the Bad News Bears reference. That's Josh Sushan, as you heard here on the Sports Animal. Great play. The center fielder, Valade, didn't see it. Right fielder realized it came behind him, slid, made the catch, and then doubled him up at first.
And from last night's game?
It was from last night's game. It was from last
Well,
night's game.
the Haze, easy to lose a baseball.
That's right. You were out at Gladiators yesterday, huh? They won 71-11, JJ. They beat their old coach's team 71-11.
Old coach not there.
He wasn't there? I didn't know he wasn't there.
COVID.
Oh, okay. Nate Davis going nuts for the home team.
This first time I've been able to get out there.
Love it.
At Star Center.
Love it.
Always such a quality building, solid event, entertainment on point, but it was almost not fun just because how bad Northern Arizona was.
Yeah.
It was like one play touchdowns. And in Duke City, it was just so much better than this team. But Nate Davis was just, oh, boom, Delo Davis, touchdown, boom, touchdown over here. Oh, let me run one in right now.
Yeah, I told you I was
out. Played a backup quarterback in the second half.
Yeah.
Who knew?
And they still won 71-11. I was out there 2 weeks ago when they played Spokane, when Lamar Jordan was in town, and it went down to the last possession, or the last 10 seconds, actually. It was tremendous. Like we had such a good time. The football was good. The competition was good. I think what they do. Like, I enjoy that better than a lot of the stuff in town, and that's
what they had to do dealing with challenges.
Yeah,
take it from Tingley out to the Star Center. You're going to lose some people because they're just not making
that
trip.
Yeah.
But the people that do show up have a lot of fun. The atmosphere is good. Always a fan of the building. Just wish you could pick it up and put it in town.
Yeah,
because then you'd be set. But do what you what you can with what you got.
And they're in a place now. They may not only make the playoffs, they may host a playoff game. They put together a nice team, and what they've got. I think the product is good, and pulling for what they do out there, and I'm pulling for their success. And I enjoy that a lot. Protect what's important to you, your home, your business. Call International Protective Service, IPS. You see their vehicles all around. I know you do. They're all around town. You know who they are? IPS. They are a security company, armed, trained security officers right here in Albuquerque. Aaron is from here. He's not selling. He's not looking to move. He is invested in making Albuquerque a better and safer place to live and work. And what his armed officers do is keep the bad guys away, protect your home, your business, your family. Don't wait until it's too late. Don't wait until a bad guy breaks in and messes up your life. Call IPS and protect what's important. If you go out of town, you got trips coming up, late summer trip, call IPS. If you're gone during garbage day like I was last week, they roll the garbage cans to the curb and back. They'll pick up a newspaper or mail if you got a delivery. They'll take that and get it to you when you get back, so it's not sitting on the porch the whole time you're gone. If your alarm goes off, they respond with armed trained security officers within 5 to 7 minutes. Police take hours, but because there's just not enough of them. Call IPS to protect what's important to you. The phone number is 505-897-2420. That's 505-897-2420, or visit them online at ipsglobal.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Network.
One of the great coaches, period, in college football. Listen to Steve Spurrier talk about him over the weekend. Listen to some of his players. 91 years old. Florida State was not good before Bobby Bowden got there. It's kind of like Duke before Mike Krzyzewski. They weren't. I mean, we think of them in our lifetime. Well, they must have always been great. They were always really, really. No, it wasn't always that way. They weren't always great. They weren't. I mean, at some point there was an architect who came in, and Bobby Bowden, who was so outspoken, so colorful, and obviously so good. I mean, I'm always amazed. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck, older coaches who can connect with kids, and as generations of kids come through and student athletes come through, I'm always amazed at the guys who are just flat out leaders that have a leadership style that resonates with younger generations, and it always felt to me like Bobby Bowden was that.
Yeah, Bobby Bowden built Florida State, and then they've been chasing that ever since. And that's what happens. He goes back to how UCLA is still talking about
John Wooden.
Yeah. And what Bobby Bowden was able to do to put them on the map, the teams that he had, because look how messy it's been the last 5-6 years at Florida State. Just unbelievable run. You're not going to see that happen very often anymore. When guys are somewhere 8 or 9 years, you're like, wait a second, this dude's been there almost a decade.
Yeah, what's wrong with him?
Just an unbelievable run, and had some fantastic teams and really great games. And we talk about rivalries and what Florida State, Florida State, Miami, all those games meant. And then anytime you win a national championship, it puts you on a special stage.
And he was a few wide rights of maybe playing for some more national championships. I mean, some of those games against Miami, and I don't know who y'all were rooting for back in those days, but they had some great rivalry games against Miami and Florida, for that matter. And they were so close so many times, and a kicker, damn kickers, got in the way, and it didn't work. But to your point, we're talking about the rivalry thing, and he was special, man. He was special, and so just a lot of people. And life happens. I think we always are losing people, but it feels like it's just such a crazy clip lately, doesn't it? That we're losing just great ones. It feels like we're constantly talking about. At 91 years old, I'm not going to sit and say, oh, unexpectedly. I mean, he lived a great life, and his kids were saying, what a great life he lived. But do you have any? I mean, is there a game for him that stands out, or is he kind of before you?
There's not a game that stands out for me. It's actually more the legacy, and just that is one of the few things. There's always some, like Bobby Bowden, Florida State, like guys that you just associate. You see that image, Coach Bowden, Florida State hat,
right,
hand in hand.
That old school one. Yeah. All right. 246-0610 if you want to get in. 888-922-0610. Your emails will come in this morning. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. You can find us on the Twitter. It's, find JJ on the Twitter. It's _JJ Buck. And on the Facebook, you can watch the show. Aaron's producing for you, ProView Networks at the OD and the AM. And, of course, go to ProView's social channels and watch it on their YouTube channel. You can watch it there as well. All right, so football going in. What Jalen Hurts has not yet been named the starting quarterback for the Eagles. What are we waiting for there?
I don't know.
Okay.
It feels like they're trying to manufacture something. What that competition? Well, the competition fact is Jalen Hurts is trying to prove that he can be the guy. So I don't know why you really want to continue to push it. Because it's Jalen Hurts or Joe Flacco? No, thank you.
So can I tell you, I think that team and Washington, and I'm going to say them, Philly over more so than Washington, is in the most precarious quarterback situation in the whole league. Because they're all in on a guy that played part of a season that was okay. That was a second-round pick the year prior. They got rid of their previous franchise guy to basically go all in on Jalen Hurts.
They're all in on him by accident.
That's my point. and he's so and now they're like, well, but he's not even won the job yet. It's like I don't know if that's like, well, Terry Wilson hasn't won the job yet.
It feels a little bit like that to me.
Okay, I mean, we all know he's going to start opening day. Mm-hmm. But it feels to me like they're just all in, but they're not all in. And this could be catastrophic. Like that could set that franchise back 4 to 5 years. Because if they're that bad,
well, if that bad, they're picking their next franchise quarterback.
Okay, who is it? I mean, but this was a really big class of quarterbacks, and I'm listening. Well, they can get Jim Garoppolo. Stop with the Jim Garoppolo already, right? I mean, how many? I've heard on the Broncos. Broncos should go get Jim Garoppolo, and he can come in and he can help them this year. He's better than what they got.
Once he's released after this season, you can go get Jim Garoppolo.
But who? Why? Like,
because it's just another one of those guys that's done enough. And the thing with San Francisco is when he plays for that team, they win. But availability. All right. That's why Trey Lance is there.
So I look at everybody's quarterback situation, and the other one that I would tell you is precarious is Houston, just because you don't know, right? Who is Houston's backup? Like, who's their quarterback now?
Their quarterback right now, if they were to play a game tonight, would be Tyrod Taylor.
All right. I don't hate Tyrod Taylor. No. Tyrod Taylor, he got hurt last year. But remember, the trainer injected him with a painkiller and punctured his lung, and he hasn't played in a game since. The trainer punctured his lung, and he lost his job to Justin Herbert. The rookie came in and excelled, and you couldn't get him out of the lineup. He got Wally pipped. But is he the long-term solution? I would tell you right now, I have so much more faith. If you're going to tell me I got to go win a game tonight, and my quarterback's Tyrod Taylor or Jalen Hurts, I like
Tyrod Taylor.
Every
and they're
time.
Done that.
Every time.
No question.
Every time. And Philly is all in on Jalen Hurts, and I'm like, honestly, they might be the worst team in the league this year.
Houston will be.
Okay. They may be the worst team in the NFC this year. And I look around, they won the Super Bowl 3 years ago. Like, what the hell?
Life changes that fast in the NFL. That's why you can't assume or expect things to stay the same in that league.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to hold Terry through the break so I can give him his full time. But, Terry, we're going to get to you when we get back. 505-246-0610. That's how you can get to us. 888-922-0610. I mean, do anybody else have a more precarious Because everybody else feels like they're at least set for now, right? And they got one or two guys. Fitzpatrick and Heineke is sketchy,
Here we go
but
again.
at least they know, right?
Week 5 would be like, what were we thinking?
On what?
Quarterbacks.
No, I promise it'll be that way in week 5. But as of right now, like everybody's kind of got a guy or two guys, right? Except for, I just think Philly's in the worst quarterback place in the whole league. But we'll see, because I think they're in big trouble. All right. Now is the time. You can save yourself some big money each month. And it really isn't that hard to make it happen. You just got to refinance your mortgage and do it now before the rates get any higher. I've been talking about this a lot lately, not only because it's important for you to know, but the rates we're seeing really can make a significant difference on your budget, making now the time to call American Financing. See what you qualify for. You simply can't put this off any longer. You can save hundreds of dollars a month. You can save hundreds of dollars a month plus tens of thousands of dollars in long-term savings. But you have got to call my friends over at American Financing. What are you waiting for? Their mortgage consultants will look at your entire financial picture. So they know what they can do for you, and they're able to save you the most amount of money. They're in it for you. They're going to get you pre-qualified for free, but you got to call them. The number is 423-551-6525. 423-551-6525. You can visit them online, AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334 and MLSConsumerAccess.org.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. DCE Systems want to help schools reopen and keep students, teachers, and staff safe. New Mexico's distributor of Novalent Shield Plus, an antimicrobial hand sanitizer that lasts 24 hours. That's right, 24 hours. 1 liter will provide approximately 2,000 individual applications. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to DCESystemsInc.com to learn more. DCE Systems is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom has portable AC units for rent. Applications include server rooms, retail outlets, healthcare facilities, laboratories, convenience stores and truck stops, events, concerts, and weddings. All of these units are 120-volt plug and play. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network. Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
center fielder. Caden Bell on first. Here's the pitch to Heath. Struck him out. And great pitching by Alvarado. That'll do it for the Tigers in the top of the fifth.
A great crowd for a mid-afternoon game. Swing and a miss, and there's a strikeout, number 5 for Matt Romero.
Smith talking to the batter here. That's a, oh, wow. Nice, and that's an out.
What did I tell you? That one's that gets over the head of the right fielder. That's going to bring in 2 runs. As Adrian Martinez with the RBI double.
Towards the latter part. Pitch, and that's another way for a single. That's going to score 2. That makes the score 9-0. So RBI double. That's going to make it. That's it. It's 10 runs there.
The count. And this one's high. It's going deep. And it's going to fall in. He's digging for third, and he gets there. Ezra Mestas with the 3-bagger. He gets the triple, and 2 more runs scored.
Steal to third base.
And he brought the hot sauce for strike 3.
Sports animal.
When I look at quarterback situations, everybody loves to talk about the 49ers and what's going on with Jim Garoppolo and Trey Lance. And Shanahan said they'll both play and all that. Oh, that's fine. And then in Chicago at some point, Justin Fields will play. It's going to be, it'll be Andy Dalton.
Everyone.
Yeah. And the Jets will be interesting. Like Zach
Justin
Wilson.
Herbert 2.0.
Yeah, we'll see.
You're going to play like 3 or 4 games, Andy Dalton. Justin Fields is going to come in and be like, wait, why were we doing that?
Yeah. Look at me. Remember me? Let me show you how good I am and how good the other guy's not. Terry, how you living?
I'm living great. How you guys living? Jeff, you did a wonderful job on filling in on the soccer take with Messi on Friday. JJ, it's good to hear you back on the air. While I was on hold, I was wondering if any more Giants retired. Tough coach Joe Judge, they had 4 guys retire last week, and
he's mean.
He's going to run them into the ground. Now, I don't know if I missed part of the first hour, so if I'm repeating something, I apologize. But, Bobby Bowden, as much as what he did on the field, but what he did to help Marshall University off the field, to me, shows what a great person he was. After the plane crash and they were reestablishing the program, and for the ones who don't know, Marshall is in West Virginia, and he helped them out. And back then they were a rival, but, sometimes winning games is great, but being a great person is better. So from that standpoint.
I guess I didn't know that story.
Yeah, I mean, you can go rent go pull up the movie We Are Marshall, and they go over it a little bit about, after that, and they were reestablishing the program, Matthew McConaughey, played the character, taking it over and went in and, talked to Bobby Bowden and he got some help. And, sometimes people turn their backs on somebody, but he actually helped them out somewhat. Now on the lighter side first, the steeplechase were great for the UNM athlete to win, but I was always wondering who came up with that, because you start off, you run, then somebody thinks, well, they need to run and jump over something, and so you have hurdles, and then somebody says, what's missing is we need to put a puddle of water out there somewhere. So somewhere in the past, I'm like, okay, that made it, but props to her for finishing. She ran a great race when she needed to get out there and hold on, and got herself a silver medal. But I enjoyed the Olympics. I watched it as much as I could. Did miss some things because it was on, I don't know if the ESPN, the Ocho was carrying some things, but I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the ones who didn't win. So, like I said, the two swimmers that hugged themselves when they won a silver and bronze, just the elite of doing that. And, even for the athletes, you finish fourth. Sometimes it's just a little sad. Yeah, you don't get a medal, but you're fourth best in the world. And, it's just an awesome experience. Yes, it would have been better with fans and everything like that. On a very serious note, I still don't know how Deshaun Watson hasn't been suspended. Either that or cleared. And this many months has been going on, and it's just kind of like put on a back burner. My daughter used to get massages, and we would find somebody who was good. Obviously, as a female, we wanted a female doing them, but she'd have somebody say, oh, they weren't really good. But if you found somebody who was good, that's who you would schedule with. And if you schedule massages with 22 or more people, there is just something fishy about that. And, if they could come out and say, well, he actually never met 10 or 15 of these people and they're making something up, so be it. But for it just to sit there forever and ever, I just think, hey, something needs to be brought up because, I don't know as a teammate how much I'd want him out there. And, from that standpoint, it is kind of sad. But and then on one last little lighthearted thing, I hope Bruin James isn't, crushed. Last night they had some new game show, and one of the teams was former Bruin UCLA football players, and they got crushed by these four lady Jets, sisters. And so I hope he, didn't have to.
Another Westwood defeat. Yeah, another defeat. All right, man.
All right, you guys have a great day.
See you.
Take care. Be safe.
Another big defeat for the Bruins of Westwood. See? It's just rough. It's rough. Jared didn't see it. He didn't have a TV. He didn't have a TV. Man.
The steeplechase is interesting. It's like they were having a track event. It rained.
Yeah.
And they're like, we can't get the water out of this portion of the track. Yeah. We'll just call it the steeplechase.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. And where does the name steeplechase?
You have to, jump into it.
Yeah. I don't think you can go over it.
Very dangerous.
Yeah.
You have to. You probably have to touch it because they all land in it.
Did you catch any of the Ocho, by the way?
I saw it on the guide, and
it's so good.
I missed out on it, but the 2021 air guitar championship was probably very entertaining.
Dude's just up there playing air guitar. The cow chip tossing, and the ones that get loose. Yeah, it's just, there was something else I really enjoyed on there. Something just so stupid, and I loved it. Yeah, I love the Ocho. I've been run it. And it's good. And Addie just goes, Dad, really? This is on TV. We watch it for a minute. She's like, okay, what are we doing?
It's what you do in Bill's garage on Saturday.
It's no doubt. And there's leagues for all. Tag, the speed tag, or what do they call it? So there's team tag. They got a course set up, and you got 30 seconds. It's like, with all it's an obstacle course kind of, and you got to run away from the dude. And if you got 30 seconds to tag him, and if you elude him for 30 seconds, your team gets the point, and the other, it's tag, dude. And there's teams.
Team tag.
Okay, so steeplechase comes from 18th century Ireland when they would race from town to town, and at that time the church steeple was the most visible point. So that's how you get steeplechase. You're chasing after the steeple.
That makes
interesting. And so they had to go over puddles and
the roads. Back then, it rained. That was it.
Cobblestone courses of the past.
There was no drainage back in the day. If it rained, it
very
rained.
Little.
If it rained, it rained. Well, that's pretty good.
Okay. So you asked.
No,
thank you, Google.
Delivered.
Yeah, thank you, Bob.
You're welcome.
That's see.
Such an interesting event. Yeah. It really is. Yeah. Wait, there's a random puddle here.
It's like all these things. How did somebody first come up with any of this?
Well, to that point, it's back in the day.
Yeah.
They're like, we're bored. We want to have a competition. Hey, how far can you throw that rock?
That cow chip.
And then it becomes shot put.
That cow chip, which is really.
All right, look, I have a spear. I can throw it really far. Javelin.
Yeah. How far? Yes. Yeah, I'm going to jump over. Yeah, all of it. All of it. I mean, baseball, just think of that. Okay, I'm going to throw the ball, then run around, put forehand. But yeah, basketball, you understand. Put something up on the wall, throw it into it.
I really want to be around the day that they cut a hole into the bottom of the basket.
Why?
And it changed the game forever.
Okay.
Didn't have to have a guy on the ladder every time.
With his,
all right, got it.
Pop it out. Hey, you know what? If we cut a hole in the bottom of this thing, it'll come out and we can eliminate. Well, we're cutting jobs. He's going to be out of work.
The ladder guy can't participate.
What's the ladder guy going to do? Who was the first guy?
And they started to find a ball that bounced. Oof.
Who was the first guy that dunked? Do we know who the first guy who dunked is? Does Google even know that? Thanks to Brady Hoke, San Diego State's coach.
So crazy, it was outlawed for a time. Zone defense.
Jim Rome Show is next. You didn't even know that, did you? Heard with Colin Coward after that. Sports Bar at 4 with Trulio and Carlisle. Dodgers and Isotopes at 6:15. Aaron, good to see you. Thanks for coming in early today. Gato Roberto en la mañana. See?
Yes.
All right, good. Hey, good to see you.
See you too.
Glad we could do this together again. Be back tomorrow morning with Award-Winning Radio at 7 a.m. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. Smell you tomorrow.